Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Chilltown Hoops. I'm your host, Jermaine. The youngsters call me OG. My friends call me J-Dub. Let's get to it. I want to start the conversation by applauding. That applause is to Mr. Giannis Antetokounmpo. The reason I say that is because he is holding the Milwaukee Bucks accountable. He is taking control of his career, just like all other superstars in the past have done. You guys have to show me that you're serious about winning. I'll be 29 years old in December. 29. So with the style of play that I have, how many more years do you think I have at this level? I'm going to say 4, 5 tops before he starts to slow down. In those 4 or 5 years, what is my legacy going to be about? My legacy is going to be about winning. I've already won the league MVP. I didn't do it once. I did it twice. I was the defensive player of the year. So I'm a leader on both sides of the basketball. I've been on the all-league defensive team more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. I've been on the all-NBA team more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. I've been an all-star. Won the NBA championship. Been the most improved player. I've done all of those things. So as of right now, I have a 4 or 5 year window that's going to determine what my legacy is going to be. And I want my legacy to be about winning. Because I've done all of those other things. All of those other things that are necessary in order to be in the conversation with the all-time greats, I've done all of that. So now what does that leave? That leaves me having to win. And I want to be in the best position possible in order to win. So the fact that I'm here in Milwaukee and I've been here for the last 10 years, we've built something. But again, my window is closing. So because my window is closing, I got to make sure that I make the right decisions. So what's the correct decision? The correct decision is to be with a crew that's serious about winning. So I'm putting you guys on notice. I got 2 more years left on my deal. If you can't show me that you serious about winning, I'm out of here. I'm not signing an extension. I'm not. I'm not just going to be here just because I owe you. Well, I've given you 10 years. This is going to be year 11. I'm giving you 11 years of my service. And you've paid me handsomely. So in theory, this thing has worked out between the both of us. But we need to be competing for the NBA championship every year. That's what I need to see. And if I don't see that, then there's no reason for me to be here. I need to be somewhere where that's what they're trying to do. In 2007, the exact same thing happened to Kobe Bryant. In 2007, Kobe Bryant got up and took control of his career. He demanded to be traded. Why did he demand to be traded? Because you trotting me out here with Chucky Atkins, and Smush Parker, and Chris Mim, and Vladimir Radmanovich, Kwame Brown. Y'all ain't serious about winning. I'm 29 years old in 2007. 29 years old. How many more years you think I got at this level? He popped his Achilles, I believe it was in 2013. 5 years later. How many more years you think I got at this level? 4 or 5 more years tops. My legacy's got to be about winning. I'm 5 years removed from winning the NBA championship. 4 years removed from being in the NBA finals. What we doing every year, this ain't enough. This is not going to get it. You guys ain't serious about winning. So I need to go somewhere where they are serious about winning. Because I'm not just going to stay here just because I love Los Angeles and I dig being a Laker and the weather is great. No. That's not what my legacy is going to be about. My legacy is going to be about winning. And if y'all ain't serious, I'm out. And it's obvious that y'all not serious. So I want out. Mitch Kupchak comes in and he goes, ho, ho, ho. Wait a minute. Hang on. I'm going to fix this. These guys aren't developing fast enough. Okay, I'm going to fix this. And he does. and he gets them the necessary pieces in order for them to compete for the NBA championship. Now he's back on board. That's called holding the organization accountable. Fast forward to 2014 when James comes back to Cleveland. Cleveland recognizes, we screwed up the first time you were here. We was putting you out, we was trotting you out there with those ragtag crews and just expecting to get there. Not realizing that this is what your legacy is going to be about. It's going to be about winning. So we're trotting you out there against the Boston Celtics, against the Orlando Magic. We're trotting you out there against these teams and expecting you to continuously do godlike things. No, we can't keep doing that. If you decide to pick up and leave and not be here anymore, it won't be because we didn't do everything that we could to keep you. That's what's going on in Milwaukee with this move to get Damian Lillard. They've shown we are serious about winning. We ain't just serious about you. We serious about winning. There was two reasons why they made this. There was two reasons why they did this. Reason number one, like I just said, we have to show Giannis that we serious. It's not about, once again, folks, you have to remember, it's not just about keeping a guy happy. No, that's not it. It's about continuously building an organization and showing the world that we are serious. In addition to keeping our star player engaged. Because you heard what he said. I need to be on a crew that's dedicated to winning. And if I don't see that, there's no reason for me to be here. If I don't see you putting in the necessary work to compete for an NBA championship every year, then there's no reason for me to be here. So with that being said, we're going to get pieces in here to help you compete for that. So that's what they did. That was first reason. That we're going to keep Giannis engaged. So they keep Giannis engaged. They go get him Damian Lillard, who, for all intents and purposes, one of the best guards in the league. One of the top 5 scorers in the game. And when that offense gets stagnant and they need a bucket, you could go to him. The second reason is because this got to work, man. This has to work. Well, what do you mean this has to work? Rewind the clock back to 2019 in the Eastern Conference Championship. We have a all-league defensive guard who's about 17 a game in Drew Bledsoe. We replace him with another all-league guard and an all-defensive guard who's a better player. And what happens? In 2021, we win the NBA championship. So now what you're doing is you're replacing him, Drew Holiday, with a better guard. Which means what? We got to win, B. This thing has to work. Because if it doesn't, who's going to get all the blame? Damian Lillard. Because we did this before you showed up. We did this before you showed up. And now we're replacing you. We're replacing our guard with you. Who, I'm a big Drew Holiday fan. All-league guard. Could score with the best of them. Gives you the intangibles. Same age as Damian Lillard. It's not like he's long in the tooth. He's the same age as Damian Lillard. 33 years old. Just turned 33 in June. Same age. And he's on the backside of his prime. He's still got a couple years left. You're going to lose the intangibles of being a great defender with losing him. And you're also going to lose Grayson Allen, who's also one of your better perimeter defenders. So does losing both of those guys, does Damian Lillard offensively make up for losing both of those guys defensively? I sure hope so. I'm not sure, but I sure hope so. Now I hear a lot of logic about the pick and roll action between both Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. So, what do you like? What are you the most interested in? Are you interested in what Damian Lillard is doing coming off the pick and roll, where he's stopping and popping at 18, 19 feet, stopping and popping at 21 feet? Or are you giving up Giannis picking at 17 feet. I'd much rather give up Giannis picking up at 17 feet, popping at 17 feet. That's, of course, if that jump shot isn't still respectable. I'll live with that as opposed to Damian Lillard. Now, I've seen Damian Lillard, when you get into the later rounds, the jury's still out on him. In the first round of the playoffs, he's fantastic. He's shown that. In the later rounds, in the semifinals, it gets a little tricky. It does. He's shown that he wavers. I watched that Denver series in 2019 where, Game 7, he wasn't very good. Now, mind you, we don't get to Game 7 without him going for 40 in Game 6. But up until that point, he wasn't very good in that series. He was solid. And then we get to the Western Conference Championship and Steph Curry just ate his lunch. Just completely ate his lunch. So the jury's still out on him when you get into the later rounds, right? So we get back to the pick and pop action. Between Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I would much rather have Giannis Antetokounmpo shooting 17-footers than Damian Lillard, if you're playing drop coverage, knocking down 17, 18-footers. You probably can't play drop coverage on him because he's going to live there. And if you go high over the screen, he's got Giannis diving to the basket. Now, I think that he makes them offensively, I think he makes them better because now you also got another ball handler and another shot creator in Chris Middleton. And you got your action off the bench in Bobby Portis, who I thought was the best rotation player last year. I thought he was the best rotation player in the game. But the second reason to make this trade is to win it. That was the second reason to make this trade, which goes back to the first reason. And this has to work, guys. And the reason why this has to work is because the guy we traded for you, when he was here, it worked with him. So we're going to move him for you, hoping that we get better, which means that this has to work while you're here, because if it doesn't work with you being here, that means you are the problem. Health is a big issue. Giannis has to be healthy. Middleton has to be healthy. Bobby Portis is going to have to be healthy. He missed a bunch of games last year. Losing Grayson Allen was a big deal. Brook Lopez coming off back surgery. I think he'll be ready to go. Nobody's really 100% healthy when the playoffs start, but you're going to be as healthy as you could possibly be. With that being said, Damian Lillard was brought here for one reason and one reason only: for us to win the NBA championship. We got a 2-year window. 2 years, that's it. If we can't do it in 2 years, this was a mistake. Now everybody's talking about, why couldn't Miami do this? Financially, it didn't make sense, man, for Miami. Number one, what they had to give up. Number two, Damian Lillard, 4 years left on his deal. With 4 years left on his deal and that kind of money, what they would have to give up to make the money work, does that make them better? I don't know. Now, I will tell you this. If Pat Riley is smart, pick up the telephone and call Portland back. Ask for Drew Holiday. Because the price isn't nearly the same. And you could get Drew Holiday cheaper. And he's on a 2-year deal. And with Drew Holiday, your window is still open. Drew Holiday and Jimmy Butler in the backcourt. Defensively, what that's going to look like, that's going to look pretty impressive. And Drew Holiday can score. He averaged 19 a game. He can score at a high level. He absolutely can do that. He can still play make. Not just offensively, defensively, makes big plays. So with that being said, pick up the telephone, call up the Portland Trail Blazers, and ask for Drew Holiday. Because it won't be nearly as expensive as it would be for Damian Lillard. And the deal is shorter. It makes more sense to do that. Makes much more sense to do that. This Damian Lillard experiment has a 2-year window. Does Giannis sign this extension now? He might. But he's still going to keep his options open, which he should. Absolutely he should. So I'm actually on vacation, but I had to come off in order to do this, so I did it. And you'll see me soon, guys. But until then, take it light, but take it.